And for more on the story, let's now bring in Willem. He is with the Institute for Security Studies on this matter and joins us now via our live link. And Willem, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. I mean, let's start off here. Every week now, we keep on seeing this as a daily occurrence when it comes to the Western Cape and the mass shootings that we continue to experience. What is your perspective from the latest one that we've just seen from last night?
Good evening to you, Umbali. Yeah, it's very sad, and we see that we don't have enough information at the moment. The investigations are ongoing, but it seems that it is just a pattern that is continuing, and it seems that the violence, the extremely high violence, levels of violence in that area in the Western Cape is just escalating. You mentioned a few of them, and we can also say that now is the ideal opportunity for the political leadership as well as for operational leadership of the police to demonstrate true leadership, and we see that there are some developments there, but maybe it is time that the public and the police take hands and to start to sort out this challenge that's been with us for a very long time.
And when you look at the details, Willem, when it comes to this latest mass shooting in Philippi East, I mean, it seems as if these men were shot right in their home, and then the perpetrators then tried to burn down that house. What do you make of this? Would you say that it's gang violence related?
It can be, but we cannot exclude it. What we see is a new type of modus operandi, and normally when criminals do that, they try to conceal evidence, or they're trying to hide evidence and destroy the physical evidence on the scene, especially. So, as I mentioned, it's early days, but it's encouraging that we see that there are some noises from the political level, from the new acting minister's level, but also we see that there has been some movement from the operational side in recent months, and we see that this is the ideal opportunity for them now to escalate that and bring all of that to pass.
And why does it seem as if, when it comes to the crime efforts being made by the acting police minister and also just the security cluster as a whole, it seems as if, they are fighting a losing battle here, particularly in Cape Town. It's not just normal crime. You also look at issues around gang violence.
And I think it's mainly can be contributed to the mandate that has been given to the police in the Constitution, and that is the prevention of crime. And the police do not have control over all the drivers that are actually driving these criminal networks and the criminal situation on the ground. They also refer to that as the mandate that has been given to the police, that is an impossible mandate. So what we saw in the previous minister's strategy is that he started to bring together all the different role players, especially on the law enforcement side, and that is a more holistic strategy, bringing also in the private security. We see that the new minister, or the acting minister, he also look into that. But what is important, we saw that with the previous strategy that there was limited buy-in and not a lot of implementation. So what is actually crucial now is that we have to look to bring in a more holistic approach, evidence-based approach, and at the end of the day, bring together all these role players, but also involve the community, because together they'll be able to solve this problem.
And what would it take to make this policing strategy more effective? I mean, you keep on touching on that when it comes to the strategy which has, been adopted by the policing in the country. What would it take for it to be more effective?
Well, it starts at the top. It starts through leadership on a political level as well as an operational level. And then at the end of the day, you have to allocate resources. You have to do a evidence-based. That means you have to do research. You have to see what your challenges are, where the hotspots are, and then concentrate your efforts on that, include and involve the local communities. And then also you have to allocate, as I mentioned, the resources, but without capacity building, it's not going to happen. So if you bring all of those things together and you start to demonstrate that you can actually solve these problems, that people are being arrested and that the rates are going down, that will go a long way to restore the trust of the public public, also in the police.
And Willem, when it comes to, this new crime trend that you are picking up on when it comes to the Western Cape and particularly in Cape Town, one would then also ask, what are the challenges that we now see when it comes to mass killings? I'm reminded of another mass killing in which we saw last year, but that was in the Eastern Cape. But in the Western Cape in particular, what are the challenges that we are noticing now when it comes to mass killings?
Well, in the first place, it starts with a lack of good intelligence. It seems that intelligence is not what it's supposed to be. And without intelligence, you cannot do proper planning and proactive enforcement of these things. So that is where we will have to start. But also what happens, and it worked in the past, and I think it's a tried and proven model that's been used, is the establishment of task teams. I think we should look at this in a copy. There are several task teams, but these task teams need to be empowered with manpower, with knowledge, with skills, and also they have to have the backing of leadership in order for them to operate. They have to include especially the community, because without the community, the police is not going to be able to solve this.
All right, Willem, thank you so much for your time. That's Willem there. He is a security strategist from the Institute for Security Studies, just giving us his insight in terms of this latest mass killing, which took place last night in Philippi East. Of course, that community still reeling from this latest bout of killings in that community.